What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Let me know if you can hear me. I know there's a little bit of a delay. Right now, I'm waiting on one of our fellow creatives, Miss Dawn. So Dawn, let me know if you are, if you're here right now so you can give me your feedback. What's up, Ladyface? Hi, Janie. Hi. All right, so I have a few designs that I need to get out today for our clients. So hopefully if y'all can hang out, you can help out and ask questions and that sort of thing. Awesome, awesome. Y'all can hear me. Great. All right, so I am just changing out photo and text on this one. I think we're keeping the colors the same. So this one will be pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and check on the photo. I'm going to use my old remove BG. I need to find my affiliate link for that. I'm always talking about remove BG and I never have ever used my affiliate link. And that's, I guess, how you know you really believe in something. You use it even if you're not getting paid for it. But I need to get on my job. All right, so I'm just going to drag the photo straight from the folder. So I have my folder right there. I'm going to drag and drop it right onto the window and see if it cuts out. I have a little bit of an issue here, but nothing I can't clean up. Everything else looks good. I'm going to go ahead and download the HD version. And it will be PNG, so it will not have that background. The background will be transparent here. And I'm going to go ahead and select the photo that's already here. And this is the photo we did black and white. We turn off that photo. And once I drag and drop the image in, it will fall right on top of the existing photo there. Beautiful. Now, normally I do fade off the edge of the photo. I know we have a lot of flowers here, so that shouldn't be a problem, but I'm going to show you how to fade it off anyhow. We go ahead and double click on the photo, so it's going to open as a smart object. And I'm just going to clean up right here just a little bit using my pen tool. I'm going to start up here and just kind of create a curve here. Make that a selection, mask it off by 1 pixel, and I'm going to delete and get rid of that. And I'll do the same thing over here. I think the program had a hard time distinguishing between the shadows and the skin. So we're just going to help it out a little bit. Right here, same thing. And I think it did the same thing up here with the hair. So I'm just going to kind of smooth it out a little bit. All right. There we go. So that looks better already. And because it's a smart object, when I close out of it, it's going to automatically update it on the main file. Perfect. All right, let's go on now and make sure. I like to copy and paste our name and our dates if I can. That way I don't make sure I don't misspell anything here. And I'm just going to, even if I have the move tool selected, if I double click on the text, it will automatically highlight everything and I can just paste over it. And then if I need to resize, let's say a name is longer or shorter than it was before, I can Control T to transform it and just resize it there. And this one is going to be Carol Ann. I'm going to put Anderson as the last line. So Carol Ann will be the top name here. And I'm still going to copy and paste Anderson because I don't want to mistakenly misspell anything. Here we go. And now I have the option to kind of stretch this out a little bit. Control T allows me to transform it, so I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. All right. And then same thing with the dates. I don't like to type it unless I have to. So I'm going to make sure that I copy and paste the text here for the dates. And one more set of dates. And I'm holding down my space bar. I don't know if you know, when you hold down your space bar and use your mouse, it turns into what I call the Michael Jackson glove. And you can just moonwalk your image across the view here without having to use these little sliders down here. All right. And I'm just cleaning up my space here. I just use space bars to space it out depending on what dates I use. Make sure everything's going to fit well on here. I'll do Control T just to transform the dates and squish it in just a little bit. I don't like to get too close to the edges because I feel like that's where you end up either with ink issues or you may mistakenly cut something off. And Ladyface, what are you talking about? You said the difference between the HD version from the free version. What are we talking about? Was this? Oh, I see what you're talking about. The remove BG. So if you notice, I think I closed out of it, but the HD version is going to be the maximum pixels that it will allow you to have, and then the free version is always reduced pixels. So although before I became a paid member, I used to just download the free ones, but then I noticed that whenever I would do like large format designs, those free ones wouldn't cut it, and it reduced the image quality too much for my liking. Right, and I'm going to make her photo just a little bit larger here. And I don't think we needed the wings on this one, so I think it's just the focus is on the photo. And I want to make sure her beautiful face is right there, right centered. And I can see my hard edge on the bottom here. So I'm going to fade it off here using a layer mask, my brush tool. I have black loaded up. Make sure I have a nice big brush here. Right now it's almost 500 pixels. And I'm just going to fade it off. Bless you. All right, so now that I've faded it off, should look a little bit cleaner down there at the bottom. Doesn't have that hard line down there. Y'all know how I feel about the cut off images and the hard lines. All right, so I think this one is done. And hopefully Dawn will be able to catch this one even if it's later. So I'm gonna save it as a PNG for her. All right, and I'll also go ahead, since she wanted to do it live, I'll send her the Photoshop version of it too. So just as a heads up, if you all ever need me to design something for you, if you decide to do it live, and it says if available, even if I can't do it live, just the fact that you were willing to do it live in order to teach others, if you sign up for the PNG, I will typically give you the Photoshop file as well. So you basically will get the template for free just because you are willing to let this experience be a learning experience for others. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And Tracy, hey Tracy, we're doing a session tonight at 7. So Tracy, I will send you a Zoom link because I don't want to do the, what is that thing called? The StreamYard. We're going to do a StreamYard tomorrow for the all overs. So, well, not just the all overs, just large format printing in general. So people that have the large format printers, various different types of printers and presses, we're just going to have like a round table discussion, some of the things we have been through, what we're looking forward to, answer some of your questions that you may have about what type of equipment and that sort of thing. So it's going to be a really fun and highly anticipated conversation. I'm ready to have that conversation because I myself am looking into getting a large format heat press. So instead of me just, doing my research and coming upon whatever conclusion I come up on, I would like to have this discussion live and get some feedback and hopefully answer some questions that you all may have. So that will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Make sure that you click on the link in the Innate Creatives group and hit where it says set reminder, and it will give you a reminder whenever we get ready to do that session. Okay, so let's see, I am done with this one. Go ahead and send these links off. I like to do it right in the moment, because anytime I put something on the to-do list, it's just on a list. It's like my list never ends. All right, so I'm going to share this link with Dawn, and then we'll get it ready for the next one. Really and truly, you should be able to design these templates in about 10 minutes. Although I do spend a little bit more time because I'm explaining things with you. Let's see, we got one more to share. And I need to take my caps lock off. I'm not used to typing in all caps, so it looks like I'm screaming over here. All right, we're going to be doing some of the graduation soul art today too. So if y'all hang out with me, you'll get to see that in action. All right, so that's one. All right, we got another one here. I'm gonna start downloading the photos, and then I'll show you about how long it takes to do those as well. A watercolor template here. All right, give me just a moment. This large document is pulling up right now, so I'm going to give Photoshop its time. Okay, Tracy, I got you. I'll help you with that. And we'll get your Photoshop set back up. Don't worry, don't worry. All right, so let's go ahead and close out of this file for now, unless we have any edits. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and see what our photos look like. Beautiful photos. Let's see what how they cut out. I'm going to use Remove BG. And there are features in Photoshop that do this too. Please don't get me wrong. However, depending on the quality of the photo, sometimes it doesn't do that all that well. Beautiful, beautiful. 2, 3, and one more. Now this one had a backpack on the back, so I'm going to edit this. And I'm going to add the backpack back on there. There you go, and I can just easily clean that up if I want to. If you want, you could do it here in the program. I'm not one of those people that like to use the mouse in order to clean things up because it's a little too janky for me. I like to use the pen tool to clean things up because see how messy that is? I don't like it. So I rather leave it open, and I'll also clean up this really intense shadow right here. I'll clean that up as well later. All right, so I can go ahead and download these now. So that was 4. And this is the download. See, when I download the HD, it's going to download the higher resolution. See that huge difference in resolution? This one's 4,000 pixels by 3,000 pixels. This one's 577 by 43. There's a major difference there, especially if you're talking about doing large format printing. And one more to go. Name this one Photo 1. All right. So this one's going for Miss Brenda. And yep, she gave me a logo too. I'm going to open up this logo right now just to see if it needs to be cleaned up. I thought it did. And ooh, let me see if I can find a better version of this logo. Just because I would rather have a better quality in is better quality out. They say garbage in is garbage out. So if I can get a better quality image and it gives my client a better product, then I'm going to shoot for that. Let's see if it's easy enough to find it by just doing a Google search. If you go to images.google.com, let's see. She may have even put in the notes what the name of the school was. Okay, let's try that. Because that image search didn't yield anything for me, but yeah, it actually is it. Maybe that's just not a logo that they traditionally use. And see, that's from Max Preps, and I know that they have little tiny little logos. Oh, that's not going to be a good look. And that looks like the one that would have been retrieved from Max Preps. You go to see more and see if I can find a better matching version of that. I'm not finding it. Now, I will do a search to find a better image, but I typically won't redraw it because that's a whole nother fee having to redraw something, because this is basically a vectored image. Now that image looks better. This is the one that is not going to pull up well for us. And I'm going to have to proof this anyhow, so I'm going to proof it with this logo instead. I'm pretty sure the reason why she wanted to use the other logo is because it doesn't have like the mean bear face on there. It looked a little more classy. So I will try it both ways. I just know that this is going to give us some trouble. Like even selecting this, you see how it's selecting these pixels in a real kind of nasty way? Yeah, that's going to definitely give us issues. But that is the logo, so let's roll with it. Let's put contiguous on for the outline here. I'll try to clean it up as much as I can by smoothing it. So let me go ahead and select all the white that I don't want. Yeah, this is having a hard time with this being so pixelated. And my tolerance right now is on 21. So let's see if we do select the inverse. And let's go to selected mask, see if we can smooth this out a little bit with no feathering. Even smoothing this looks really bad. All right, well, let's go ahead and just clip the background out of it. We'll work with what we have, and then maybe Brenda can let me know if she'd rather use the alternate logo. And then I'm just going to expand this to see what it looks like. I'm making this into its own smart object so that I can change it independently. And I think what I have to do is, let's see. No, it's saved white where it's supposed to save white. We shall see. We're just going to proof it as is and see if that is going to be acceptable. All right, and of course this one's going to be red, black, and white, class of 2021. So automatically I'm going to go ahead and change that to 2021. And then let's do the name of the school. So we'll take this logo, and we're going to hide it. And let's find the name of the school here. This one's going to be North St. Paul. I'll copy that so I don't have to worry about misspelling anything. Double click here and I can paste it. And because the name of the school is so long, I might not even put high school. I might just put North St. Paul. Let's see how the school does it most times. Oh, they say North Polars if it's a sports thing. All right, so we're going to put North St. Paul High. And let's select all here. Let's go ahead and center this one. Go to our paragraph here, let's center it. There we go. So I'm going to pull it up here just so I can make sure that I have it on my artboard, but I'm going to place it based on how many images we have here. Let's go ahead and hide the photos for right now. We're going to bring in our new photos. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm just going to scale these down a little bit so that I have a good idea how they can be placed. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one I'm going to go ahead and rotate. All right, and the other thing is I'm going to go ahead and turn on my guides as I'm designing because I want to make sure that I'm not going to cut off anything really important. That's a little cutie picture with the backpack, and we are going to edit this photo and take the background out from around the backpack. And I'm not going to sit here and try to completely clean this up, but we can do a little bit of of correction here to take that scratch off her face. Let's see. Let's do content aware. It's a little hard because this image, like I said, is real pixelated. So it's trying to pick up pixels and colors around it to kind of fix this area. It's not doing a terrible job, but it could definitely be a little bit better. And that one, it's actually bringing the scratch all the way from down here. So I'm going to try coming from a different direction. Nope. Alright, that's better. And since I can't get it to believe where the cleanup is here, I'm just going to actually just take a little section here. Do Control C, Control V. So I just copied and pasted. And I'll bring this down in this area. Create a layer mask around it and just kind of erase around it with a soft brush to see if I can get it to blend in. Alright, and my brush tool is acting a little funky since I'm on live. It's kind of giving me this huge delay and it's not doing the size brush correctly. But I think you guys can get the idea of what I'm doing right now. There we go. I think that blends a little bit better. And because I'm working on a layer mask and not the actual pixels, like taking away pixels, then I can come back and I can build with white. So I can reveal with the white and then I can conceal with the black. And I'm just going to zoom out. It's not perfect, but it looks a lot better than it did with the scratch in the front. What's weird is now it wants to bring the brown in. This thing is tripping. Alright, well, I'm going to leave that little white part there because at least it's not in her face anymore. And then I'm going to focus on this backpack. So I'm going to grab my pen tool and just kind of click and drag when I want curves. And just click, click when I want a straight line. So I'm clicking and dragging. And then I will make a selection out of this path. So let's make a selection. Feather it 1 pixel, and now I will actually delete some pixels there. And I think that's good. You do the same thing around her face there. That shadow is way too prominent. So I'm going to use my pen tool and kind of trace it out. And I'm going to have to make this a little blurry, otherwise this edge will look a lot more cleaner, a lot cleaner compared to the rest of the image. So you kind of have to match. If it's a fuzzy picture, even when you clean out the background, the background needs to be a little fuzzy. Otherwise it will look odd. It won't look convincing. So selection here, I might have to do 2 pixels. Let's see, so that I keep that fuzziness there. I think that worked out a little bit better. Alright, so let's update that, see what it looks like. Oh, I gotta merge these. Alright, there we go. So All right. Now let's work on how we're going to arrange these. So maybe the top photo will be the baby photo. We have cheer here. And I'm going to reduce this image a little bit so I see the pom-poms. Otherwise, they'll probably get cut off. So let me zoom out a little bit. Control T to transform it. All right. And let's hit enter to lock in the transformation. And then we'll do let's layer this photo on top, so we have to change the layer order. Here we go. Make this one a little bit smaller so we don't cut anything off. And then, of course, I will fade off the bottom of the photos that I'm seeing so I don't see any hard edges. Go ahead and create a layer mask and just use your paintbrush with the black loaded up on it. And we're just going to kind of drag the paintbrush across the bottom. There we go. And I'm even going to fade the bottom off of this one, even though it's layered. I don't want to see just that little hint of that hard line there. So let's grab the paintbrush with black, because black conceals, white reveals. We'll fade that off, and then of course the last image will fade off a little bit at the bottom as well. All right, so let's go ahead and switch up our color scheme here. And what I'm looking for is all of my color number ones. I'm going to go ahead and make this a smart color type of thing and see if it helps out. So everywhere that I see blue, I'm going to replace with red. So I'm thinking that's color 3. I'll have a couple of different colors in this one, that's why. I have 1, 2, 3, and I think color 4. I think we can simplify this to 3 colors. So let's go ahead and create a solid color, and we can choose red from the garment here, and then I'm going to make it a little bit more vibrant. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and change this red into a smart object. And before I change it to a smart object, let me rename it as color, let's call it color 3. Now you won't have to do all this. You can literally go in this template and change each color, but I may replace this with the smart color feature. All right, so let's convert it to a smart color. Let's right click and create a clipping mask so it should only apply to the item underneath. And I'm changing my blending options here. So now the red is applied to the color. Perfect. And I think I can actually remove the effects now because I don't need a color overlay. So let me clear the layer style and see if it still works. Perfect. So now everywhere that I see color 3, 1, 2, 3, let's go ahead and clear those. And I can combine these. Let me merge those layers, make it a little simpler for you. And let's create a clipping mask here. There we go. So that changed the red ones up top. These are all color 3s. Let's go ahead and merge those. Well, let's clear the layer styles first. And this one has a color fill attached to it along with the glitter. So let's release that clipping mask. Grab these two and merge those layers. Grab our color 3, alt click and drag. Then I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask. And I'll take off the glitter for right now just so I can make sure that the recoloring works. Here we go. Let's go ahead and clear the layer style from this one and merge it. Right, these two, let's clear that layer style and merge it. I'm just making this easier. Before I started creating smart colors, I used to recolor each element, and that's how this original template was done a year ago. And since I have started making smart colors, I've been able to simplify a lot of the templates and a lot of the process for designing. And that color 1 is probably, need to make another instance. So we're going to right click new smart object via copy. That way it's its own independent smart object, and we're going to change that one to black. And sorry, this computer is acting a little slow while I'm doing the live session, so y'all bear with me. So this one we're going to change to black. So we'll probably make this one like gray or silver, black, and red. So now I can bring back my previous red there. See how that looks layered? There we go. So we'll call color 1. Color 1 will be the black. Color 2 will be the silver. And then color 3 will be the red. And then at the very top, I'll put the swatch colors. And I'm just hitting Alt, and then I am dragging, I'm holding down Alt, and I'm dragging so that it's creating a copy for me right now. So those of you who are asking me about how I create smart colors, this is my little process that I came up with. And I'm going to turn that visibility off. And finally, we just need a color number 3. So I'm just going to right click on color 3, or we need a color 2. I'm going to new smart object via copy. If I just duplicate this, then all it's doing is making the same smart object, just a different instance. If I want a particularly different instance of my own smart color, then I have to do a smart object via copy. And this one's going to be called color 2. Got number 2, color 2, and this one will make, I'm going to make it glitter and a color. So let's do this. Let's open up my color 2. I'm going to bring over my glitter. So let me find an instance where I see my glitter. And I'll resize that. So this can be a color or a glitter. So then that way you won't have to choose. Here we go. Alright, so now everywhere that I saw that glitter, I'm going to replace it with my smart color, which is color 2. Alt, click and drag. Delete the glitter from before. Alt, click and drag. Delete the glitter from before. Just everywhere that I see the glitter, I'm just going to drag the gray color swatch. And mind you, I'm still clearing out my my effects and merging those layers. Alright, so now let's see what happens when I take the silver color. I'm going to make it an odd color right now just to see how it applies. So let's make it like a teal. And I'm going to see which blend mode works best. Oh, that one right there. Hard light looks cool. And all of these colors, all these blend modes work differently depending on what color you have underneath it. So red is a good color to try out. Let's see if you're going to get a true red. See how it's kind of pinkish. Let's see what blend mode works better with the red. Because I still want to see the blings as white, but if I can't get it like that, that's okay. And hard light's doing okay here. So whatever color I choose now, whether it's the gray or a red or a green, now it's going to also change the color of the glitter. And then if I don't want glitter, I can just turn the glitter off. So I'm going to keep this one a gray, turn the glitter on, and let's see what it looks like. I forget the blend mode I used. I think it was the hard light. Alright, oh, the other thing is I forgot with all of these, I need to change the opacity to 100%. I turned it down so it wouldn't be visible before. And I think I'm going to change the scale of my glitter just a little bit because it's, oh, I know what it is. It's taking up the entire artboard and we don't need this. We're actually going to crop this in. Most of us are printing on 13-inch paper, so I'm going to go ahead and crop it in. And then depending on whether you're doing a 72-inch stole or a 60-inch stole, you may or may not want to continue your design higher. But that's going to work for us right there. All right, and then for our color 2, which is the one with the glitter, I'm going to change the scale here so I can kind of blend it together. Nah, I forgot I was on the crop tool. And this glitter is already a merged image of some other stuff, so it's got like some dark and some light areas. So I'm going to just duplicate it, flip it, Control T. I'm going to flip it vertical. Try to match that up. And then I'm just going to fade off that edge there, see if we can get it to overlap. And again, this Photoshop rendering is acting funny with the live session going on, so I'm doing my best to kind of fade this off right now. And I'll see if I can combine them, and it won't exactly be seamless. This isn't a vector glitter. You can actually find a vector glitter out there. Alright, I think that looks good enough. We can take these two and merge them now. But before I merge them, I think I was supposed to memorize the blend mode. So I'm going to turn it to normal for both of these, and then we'll turn it back to hard light once we get these two layers merged. And that way, when we change the color, we're good. Alright, so now anywhere I see the color 2, I'm going to go ahead and resize it a little bit. Let's do Control T. See how wide it is there? Alright, there we go. So let's see if there's anything else I'm missing. I see a little gray back here. The light spots should stay white, so we're going to leave those alone. And I'm just going to rename these layers. Now this one gives you an option of whether you want to use the color 2 or the color 3. But I think right here, the color 3 looks best. I'm going to get rid of that one. And then I need to activate the color 2 on this one. There we go. Alright, so I think I finally got all of the smart colors efficient and in place. So let's call this one color 1 splash. Alright, so now we have 3 colors. That makes this a lot simpler. And I'll show you how this works in just a moment with the smart colors. Now all the colors will update together. All these different instances of the same color. And that was color 1. So let's take color 1. I'll click and drag it here. And let's right click and create a clipping mask. Okay, so now we have color 1 up there a little bit. So we'll call this one color 1 splash. And the reason why I can't just put like all the color 3s together, all the color 2s and all the color 1s is because for this to look like watercolor, you have to have the transparency and kind of mix up which one is top, bottom, and otherwise. So let me see if I can simplify this just a little bit. The light spots can be on top. And I'll tell you, if I move this one above the glitter, it may or may not change our whole look, and it does. So some of the places I want the glitter to be on top, and some places I want the main color to show predominantly. So I'm going to leave it alone as is. As a matter of fact, if you never have to touch this stuff in here, as long as you are changing the smart colors up top. So let's try that out. Let's see if we wanted to go smart color 3. I'm just going to duplicate that layer and change it to a totally different color. So let's try purple. Nah, it's not a good purple. Here we go. Let's try that purple. And let's see if it updates all of our layers accordingly. There we go. Perfect. So now you don't have to go in and change the color of each color splash. You just come up here to the top of this template and change out color 1, 2, and 3. And then I will also make it to where this text will change as well. So let's do the name, the class of, all of that good stuff. Let's just make it all color 3. So the class of, we're going to create a clipping mask and turn that on. And I just have to change my blending options to allow for the new color to recolor it. So we'll do copy layer style for class of, and then we'll paste it for the name. North, and for the word high school, leave that alone. Alright, and it looks like it's applying this color a little funky, even though the color's on normal. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, it's because it's got an inner glow that's white, so it's changing the purple up a little bit. But I like it. As long as it's not making it a different color, as long as it's in the silver hues, I'm fine with that. Alright. Alright, so now when I change my smart color back to red, let's see if all my text changes as well. Let's check on it and see. Alright, and this did, looks like a normal color overlay here. Now in these areas, if we want to see the texture through, we have to change the blend mode to something other than normal. So I'm going to go with overlay and see how that looks, because it should have a silver base underneath it. And it looks like I have to take off that teal. And then let's see, so overlay is giving me a little too much highlight. Let me see what else I can do. I can do darken, I can do multiply. Multiply, there it is. So now I'm going to copy the layer style for this, and every time that I'm recoloring my text, I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste the layer style there. Okay, that means I also have to copy the layer style of the class of, and paste that layer style on the text below it. Right now the 2021 has these little stones in them. I'm going to leave that alone. Alright, what else do we need? We need the logo on here. And I think the logo is still here if I didn't delete it. Let's see if this logo wants to join us. Here, I'd rather bring it in as its own element, because that's going to be huge for no reason. So let's go ahead. I like to do a little quick export as PNG. We'll call this one logo. Alright, now let's see if we can just drag it and place it from the folder. There it is. And maybe since we have a lot of grunge going on, it won't look so bad. Let's see if we can make it work. Excuse me, y'all. And I'm going to place this behind all of the photos. All right. So I think this will be a lot simpler. And anybody that has purchased the template, I'm going to update the old template, but I will also trying to see if I can do this as part of the Innate Lab template, because with my Academy course, I have a mock-up that comes with this. Oh, I have a mock-up that comes with this one too. So it'll work out. Now you see how this text is just really pushing it. I would almost rather put the high school name down at the bottom and the class of 2021 up top, just because we're probably going to lose some of that name. So let's bring that down here. And then the class of, we can move up top. And then we'll still shrink it a little bit. There we go. I'm not as concerned about it possibly getting cut off because I'm inside of my little blue lane here. And then I'm also trying to design this. You see this line above here. This is the 13 by 19. So technically what I'm going to do is take the same background and clip it off at a 13 by 19 level, so that if you weren't wanting to print all over on the stole, you only want it to go pretty much what a 13 by 19 sheet would go. At least it doesn't look cut off. I've seen quite a few of them that literally just straight cut off where the paper cuts off, and you know, that's a little striking. It's a little disturbing, as the kids say. It's disturbing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring everything here down except for my text. So photos, logo, and I think I will bring that class of 20. Yeah, I'm going to bring the text down too. Just kind of pull it down just a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to create an alternate version of the 13 by 19 for the back. So let's duplicate this group. Now I'm going to call this watercolor background for 13 by 19. Turn off the all over version. And then we're just going to squish it down a little bit. Control T. Squish it a little bit more, make sure that we're well within that margin of paper. Now, if it gets cut off on the edge, that's fine. You have a little bleed area anyway, but you want to make sure that the top and bottom kind of looks like it naturally cuts off. So I think that's good right there. And again, this is working with the smart color. So once you change the color scheme, it will work for the 13 by 19 background and for the all over background. So that should make everyone happy. And then if you keep all of your text image in here, then you can use it for the all over printed stole or for the 13 by 19 printed stole. All right, Sharon. And that's the beautiful thing. The more I've been teaching you all, the more I have been finding solutions. You know what? When we have to do something, as creatives, we will find a way to make it work. And this whole smart color thing and the magic tile template came from the struggle. It came from the struggle of doing it for every single job. And I was like, there has got to be a better way. Even if it makes the files a little bit larger, I will tell you that the smart colors do make the files a little bit larger. However, I think that it's worth it when it comes down to how you're able to change out 1, 2, 3 colors and, pretty much have the whole scheme done for you. All right. Bring that class up just a little bit. And now that I kind of have this in scale, I'm not so mad at this logo. It's still not what I want it to be, but let me try a different blend mode. There we go. So multiply is kind of letting that grunge and that glitter and that watercolor kind of push through it. So it doesn't look like it has to be so clean. And I think I'm okay with that. Rather than the white being there and it looked a little. Yeah. So I'm going to leave that on multiply, see if the client's okay with that. And I think we're good. And of course, when you print this out, you print it out as 113 by 19, or you can get your roll media and put this into your 13-inch printer and print it as a 13 by, if you're doing a 30-inch stole, I say 13 by 33, so you give yourself some extra space. And then if you're doing a 72-inch stole, that's what, it's going to be 35, 36 inches. So I would probably give myself 40 inches on that. So let me see what size this artboard is. Image, canvas size. Oh yes, 48 inches tall. So there's plenty of space to make this long. And I'll give y'all a hint. If you just look at one of these sides, you can make this into a tie as well. I have some ties that came in, ties, cufflinks, and some pocket squares. So we're going to be doing a class on that. And I would like you all to start using some of the templates in different ways. And this might be one of those ways where maybe dad doesn't want to wear a t-shirt, but he'll wear a tie. And you can kind of make this coordinate with everybody else's t-shirts. Yes, Charmaine, I just made up this feature for the soles. Now, I will tell you that the 125, if you need this feature like right now, let me show you all. On the Academy, we did a class number 125, which is where I first implemented the smart objects for designing the stoles. So where's 125? Right here. And this is actually a really cool template, because when you design the shirt, it automatically designs the stole. And then I also created a bonus. So this is your bonus all over. If you design the stole, it will design the 13 by 19 print, and it will also design the all over print. So if you follow that tutorial, this one has the smart colors built in. You just change the colors one time. You're going to design one thing, and then it will propagate all that design change to the other substrates. So if you haven't seen that yet, that's 125. I'm going to do my best to make the old templates kind of fit that new feature. It'll probably take me some time, and I know y'all are needing this graduation stuff now. So if you need the one with the smart colors that also designs all 3 of these, then go ahead and do course number 125. And if you're a member, make sure that that you use your coupon code for 67% off if you're a $30 a month member, and your 75% off code if you are a $60 VIP member. And if you're not a member, you can just buy these courses a la carte. It comes with the templates, but it also comes with the video of us working through it in class. So it's very, very much step by step, and it's not me just showing you how to do it. It is literally you watching your peers and your cohort go through the process of completing this entire task. Okay. So that's my newest one, and I'm just kind of doing this one because I have a few customers that have requested this, and I didn't want to go back to this old template and change out. I literally have about 12, 15 places that you change the color of the watercolor splashes. Yeah, no. I'm going to help y'all figure out a better way to do it. Now that I know better, we're definitely going to do better. Okay. So let me make sure I took care of all of the requests on this order. And I'll probably be pressing this one. I thought I was going to press it tonight, but I'm probably not going to have time to press it tonight. So I will press it tomorrow. And I know I've done a live video showing you all how to press these, but I haven't done one recently. So maybe I'll be able to tell you some of my new tips and tricks. So I will press on these tomorrow. And I may do it live if I have the availability to do it live. Otherwise, I'll pre-record it and post it for you. Absolutely, Sharon. That white stroke that goes around the words, it's a part of, if you see the effects, it's a part of those effects. So absolutely. Let's see, what time is it? It's almost 6. I was going to say I could show you that one, but I've got to wrap up all of these designs so that I can help. I'm helping Tracy at 7. So I want to make sure I stay on time. But yes, if you see the FX on the text, see how this one has a FX right here? You double click it and you'll see the word stroke. Let me see if this one has a stroke. This one just has a drop shadow, but let me check the word stroke so I can show you. You see how that stroke is like super thick right now? This stroke is 79 pixels. I can change it to maybe 4 pixels and make it white, whatever color I want it to be. And there we go. And in this case, I think I didn't have a black stroke on there. I think I just had a drop shadow. But you can see what it looks like with and without the stroke just by turning on and off the check mark. Okay. So yeah, sometimes you'll want to change some of those elements, and that's the power of the templates. It's going to give you a suggestion, and then as like we all have different tastes. I like a lot of like metallics and gradients and background colors. I really don't do the minimalistic design style. I can do it, but it's not really my style. But I know for someone who likes minimal things or that minimal look, then I can make it more streamlined. I can put pinstripes instead of all these, paint splashes and stuff. I can do like a simple pattern background, maybe like a paisley or something like that. And use these same templates just to accommodate my client's taste. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that, love. Cool. So, Sharon, I hope that just answered your question. Anytime you see this FX, that's exactly what it means. Those are the effects or the FX that you can manipulate when it comes to the stroke, the drop shadow. Even a lot of times when I have this little metallic looking stuff in there, it is a pattern overlay. And if you don't like the pattern overlay, you could do a solid color overlay instead of a color overlay that has a blend mode on it. So I give y'all the extra so you can decide to scale back if you want to. I'm an extra type of person. All right, so I'm done with this one. So now what I'm going to do, let me see. I may not be able to do this online right now just because I'll save this logo just in case. My Photoshop may not deal well with me doing this, so let me see if it's going to let me do it. I'm going to bring up the 125. Now this is the big boy file. This one has the all over shirt, the stole, and the 13 by 19 shirt that all designs together. Now this is not a part of this original one here. I just want to make sure that this is going to work for the mock-up. And then it will take me some time. I will make this available to the Academy students. So I know I have the solo design one, and then I have this watercolor one. Excuse me, there was one more that, there's one that I'm doing right now that does the flags. So it'll be the flags incorporated in that one. I know that's a big deal for a lot of, especially college graduates. They want to represent, you know, their nationality or ethnicity, and that's a big deal for the stoles. I actually did a ribbon, and we're going to do that kind of like the designer ribbons for Louis Vuitton and Gucci that has the ladies bow tie type of ribbons. I did something like that for my graduation instead of a stole, so we're going to do that as well as a academy project. So I'm going to do a lot more with these templates and showing you how you can use them in different ways and doing my best to create these kind of smart resources. So this is what I call a smart template. It's a big file, but it packs a big punch. And once you open the file, let's say you only want to do the graduation stole. So let me show you how you would do that. You would do File, Save As. Let's save this as a stole only. So let's save it as 125. Stole only, right? And then I'm just going to get rid of my other artboards because you may or may not want to design all these things together. And typically, if you design a stole, you might as well show them at least that 13 by 19 design, even if you're not going to do it all over. So that's why I gave you all this file. Where you can show off the stole with 13 by 19. So I gave you my mock-up and I gave you this template here. It just only has these two pieces on the right. So then I went back and said, y'all were like, well, how do we turn this 13 by 19 into an all over? And I showed you how you can turn it into an all over, but I also just made it work for you as an all over design, but it's a separate file. So if you know you're absolutely not doing all over designs, you don't even have to open this template. Okay, you just open the one that just says 13 by 19 with the stole. So stole only, I can get rid of this whole artboard, and now I have a stole only template. Okay, bless you. All right, so I'll save that just in case y'all need that stole only. All right, so I'm just looking through and seeing what else I have to get done with this artwork. Hopefully this is the same template. Now when I get ready to print and press this, all I do is turn off my guides. And I'm going to save this as I'll save it as a JPEG. And oh, that's what I was going to do. Let me go back a second. I want to make sure that it works for the mock-up. So it should still work for this 125 mock-up, and I'm about to see in just a moment. So let's save this as, and I'll tell y'all to save it as a PNG. And in order to get the background out, we just turn off the background layer. We can do File, Save As, a PNG. And that way I can mock it up to the customer. And this one's going to be a little bit different size because this one allows you to go taller. But I'm just going to make sure that my width is the same. And then I just adjust it accordingly. All right, and I can go ahead and turn off the other layers. Let's update it and see if it works. There it goes. Okay, so it works. Oh, I have to change the name there. Duh. All right, so let's add the name. I'm zooming in, pull it up. And then I'll put the last name, contrast color. There we go. I think that looks a little bit cleaner. The bling looks cool if you're doing like really short words, but if you're doing longer text, it does get a little distracting. All right, so now I'm going to save this as a PNG. And the good thing about it, if it is a smart object, you can actually just right click and I believe I can update so I can relink the file. And then see how it updates to the modern version of the file. And then of course, when we close out, hit yes to save. And now that's updated. All right, so just for the Academy members, I will take this one. I have a solo design and this one. And one more design I'm working on. And I will make sure that I make them combos for y'all. So it will design a shirt. As a matter of fact, this customer only ordered a stole. But if I showed them this mock-up with the shirt next to the stole, they will probably ask to buy that shirt. So I will work on that for you all to make sure that the stoles have the matching shirt designs. And of course, you'll be able to use your discount code because I'll put it in the Academy as exclusive designs that won't be, or even if I do put them on the Innate Lab website, you'll be able to use your coupon code on the Academy because you're members there. Okay. All right. All right. And because these are dual design, we'll probably have these a little more expensive. If it designs a stole and a shirt at the same time, it's probably going to be a little more expensive. And for this one, I need to shift the design just a little bit. There we go. All right. So I'll play with that a little bit as well, but that's it. Let's see. So we did a remembrance and graduation. So let me go ahead and mark this one as processed. Let's see what else we got to work with. It looks like I have 2 more of these to do. These things are creeping up on me. Let's see what the next one is. Hey Teresa, how you doing today? Alright, so next one we're working on is, let's see, graduation stole how many photos? Okay, this one's a little simpler, just 1 photo. And just so you know, I do charge like per photo. I charge $5 per photo, so that if somebody really wants to do, you know, an intricate design where it has, you know, 4, 6, 8 pictures, then it's worth the time that it takes. It's not just the time it takes to cut out the photos. It's really the thought that goes into placing this stuff, because it's not easy when you have to figure out how to arrange all these different resources. So that's the other reason why I make sure that I charge accordingly. I used to didn't charge for that. I would just kind of let people throw images at me and just spend all night trying to figure out how to arrange them. But as I've gotten older and I've gotten a little bit wiser, I'd like to think. So photo 1, we're doing the watercolor design. Perfect, because I have the watercolor design open. And a logo. Cool. So 1 photo and a logo. Oh, this one may not have a photo at all. Looks like the logo is a photo. Let's see. All right, so I'm sitting here reading the notes now, and I got my work cut out for me. Let's see. So it's going to have some text on here instead of the traditional imagery. So let me go ahead and do a save as, and we're going to save this. Well, let's save it in general first, and then what you do when you're doing a save as, you're doing a save as because it's going to be an alternate file. Okay, so in this case, this is a different customer, probably a different design color scheme. So I don't want to save over my work that I haven't gotten approved yet. If the work was approved and I didn't plan on saving the editable version, oh, sorry, I was thrown off just a bit. Let me go check on something real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm back. Miss Kwan, the Facebook group is, I will say this, it's not necessarily for like members to post as much. Like there's designated areas where members can post questions, especially for tech support. So there's a post for that, and then you want to tag Erica Kane in your post. And she is our like dedicated admin that really does her best to make sure that she can get everybody through whatever issues. And then if you just want to share what you're working on, there's a post for that. Otherwise, the thread gets real, real messy. People can't see announcements, like when I'm announcing that we're going to do a giveaway or a live session, anything like that. It just got a little too inundating. And in that case, the group is mainly for more like announcements and showing you what's going on. And then you have specific places where you can post. If I could do it some other way, I would, but right now I don't know how else I would want that to go. But I do appreciate your honest feedback on that. All right, let's see. Oh, hey, Teresa. Oh, you're working on 130 from last night. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I can't wait to see what you post. Yeah, if you post by Wednesday, which is what, tomorrow? Oh, no. Okay. I was about to say the week was rushing by already. So if you post what you did for classwork, even if you did as homework by the 30th, then, not the 30th, what is this? What is Wednesday? Wednesday is the 28th, for the 28th. So if you post by then you're entered for a chance to win $100 worth of templates from the NA Lab website or a free set of True Colors ink. All right. All right, so this one, we're going to change out the logo here. And instead of just pulling in a new logo, oh yeah, I forgot this logo was small. We don't want to use that. Let's pull in our new logo. We'll go ahead and delete the old logo. So this one is red, white, and blue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my color 3 red. And because we can't really do white, I'm going to leave the silver. And then I will choose my color number 1. We'll do blue. And I'm not sure if it's like a royal blue or a navy blue, but I'm going to make it like a kind of mid to dark blue. So I'll duplicate my black. And then I'm going to just change it to... As a matter of fact, you reference the Patriots color. So let me find out what the color codes are for the Patriots. So let's go to teamcolorcodes.com. I'll type in the Patriots. New England Patriots. And yeah, it is more of a navy blue, but I can get this exact hex color that's going to be 002244. And I can paste it here. And now I have that blue. Hit yes, and it should save and update those colors. And I'm going to close out of this mock-up without saving it because I was just demonstrating that for y'all. So see how my black now changed to blue? Easy peasy. All right, and then if I want to, I can even change the red to their red. But I think it's already pretty close. But let's see. Let's copy that hex code. Double click on the color 3. I'm just going to duplicate it right now because I want to save what I originally had and see the difference. It is a bit deeper red. So when I save this and update it, all right, there we go. So now we have that red, white, and blue scheme going on, and it was real simple. So those of you who dealt with the original file, I know this probably makes you feel a lot better, feel relief in that we're going to have another version of this. And honestly, I think I like my red better from before. This one looks a little lipstick red. Gave me a little bit of pink vibes. I'm going to go back to my original red and see if I like it better. Yep, I like that better. All right, so let's go ahead and change the name of the school. I'm just going to double click here. And if I can't double click, I'm going to right click, find where the layer is from what I'm touching, and then let it seek itself over here in the layers panels, because there are a lot of layers and you don't want to be sifting through it trying to find stuff. So I think I'm going to put, because the stoles are so narrow, I don't really like to put text side by side. I'd rather kind of layer it vertically. Oh, you know what? This person might have even asked for that. Hold on. Okay, FMU, they want big vertically. Okay. So I am, as a matter of fact, I probably do Francis. Oh, while I'm making stuff all big, let me throw my guidelines back on. Because we love to test the limits and make things bigger than we really should be making them. So there we go. I'm staying inside of my blue area here. And then for this one, I'm actually going to make a copy of this one. So I'm going to select these two layers, hold down my shift to select both. I'm going to duplicate. And I think I'm going to do one red, one blue, and then one with the silver. All right, so that one will be Francis. We'll do the red. And then the Marion, we'll make that the blue. Uh-oh. I'm moving stuff around inadvertently. Let me go back. All right, and then instead of color 2 clipping into that, I'm going to look for, what is it, color 1? Yeah, so color 1, I'm going to alt click and drag down onto Marion. Make that visible and make it 100% opacity. And let's go ahead and bring back Francis now. And then it should be university instead of high school. So let's go ahead and change that out. All right, so this one, instead of photos, we're going to probably be doing a little bit of text. So let's do the FMU, big letters vertical. So let's go ahead and remove the photos. So we can take this whole group of photos and turn it off. So I'm going to take this whole group here, and then we're definitely going to change the font if we're doing vertical text, FMU. So I'm going to clip that in the wrong place. All right, there we go. Let's do, I can actually change this to vertical text. let's release clipping path. Where are we? I missed that. I couldn't see where I released the clipping path, so I'm just going to pull it down here. And let's type. It's got FMU in the script text right now. That's not really going to work for us, so let's find something a little more standard. And this font search is going to go really slow right now with me being live, so y'all forgive me on that. I might just pick something that I know works pretty decent. I think I can rock with that one. So let's copy the layer style from Francis, paste it on FMU, see how that looks. And now I'm going to take the red and the blue, right click, and create a clipping mask so it'll clip down to the FMU. There we go. And then I believe I'm going to change the spacing to be a little bit smaller too. All right, let's see. Before we go getting too deep into design, let's see what else we have to put on here. We have to put some words. Here's a quote. All right, so since it's a quote, we're definitely going to make a text box. And we're going to go back to our regular horizontal type tool. Let's make a text box that stays within this blue area. And the size of the text, let's definitely make it smaller. And then I'm just going to paste the text here, see how long it ends up being. I'm just making the text a little bit bigger to see how much space is going to take up. That looks decent there. And then this is going to be its own standalone text. Right now you don't see it because it was clipped down to the FMU. There we go. And I'm going to bring this above all the other text just because I don't want it to have any of the effects just yet. And this looks like a Nipsey quote. Let's see, dedication, hard work plus patience. Let's put it, enter there, the sum of all my sacrifices. I'm done waiting. And Let's see if I can reduce this size a little bit. Maybe 60 points instead. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. And then I don't like hyphenated words, so I'd rather do I'm done waiting. Now I'm wondering, I'm sure they don't want the words across the chest on there. Well, I don't think. And then to freedom. So I'm thinking to freedom might need to go in a different location. This is the point of proofing this stuff too, because you can think you understand all day what somebody wants until you have to show it to them. Now, because this is such a busy background, I'm going to add an outer glow, make it white, so that that text pops off. Let's make this normal. And I just play with my spread and my size and my opacity until I kind of get what I want. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. So plus patience. Some of all my sacrifices, I'm done waiting. Okay. All right. I think I got that. See, is anything else I'm missing? Oh, yep. We got to put the Bachelor's of Science in Healthcare Administration. So let's see if I can find something a little more creative than just words. Knowing me, I probably would even put like the Nipsey Marathon flags or something on there. Let's see what they want. All right, so that's going on there. Now I have something else, some other element I need to add. So I want to make sure that I'm representing that thoroughly. I don't know if there's anything that kind of represents healthcare administration, if there's any type of symbol. Let's see. I don't see anything specific towards healthcare administration. Of course, anytime I think of medical, I think of this symbol here. So that might be something worth putting on there. I'm just trying to find something graphically that can add so it doesn't just look like a whole bunch of text on here. So I'm probably going above and beyond. Let's do tools, size, large, so I don't end up with any little pixel images. Yeah. So I think that logo would be worth it. is that thing called? I kind of like the one that doesn't look like a snake. It looks so much like a snake anyway. Let's see. That works. And it looks like it's PNG, so let's check it out. Then I'll just recolor it if it does work. Drag and drop it. Alright, that way even if I put the words, it's still going to showcase kind of as a logo. Let's clip that color back down to the text there. Here we go. So I'm thinking I can take this logo, choose one of my colors to recolor it. And I'll just do normal as the color mode, so it will just do color overlay there. Let's do a stroke. Oh, I must be doing this on the color and not the actual object. Back to the object. Let's do an effects and a stroke. Maybe a drop shadow. Alright, and I'm thinking I may recolor this to where it'll be both the red and the blue, but in order to do that, let me bring my image here. I'm going to go ahead and bring down a blue as well. Alt click and drag. Let's turn it off. And where there's currently blue, I'm going to keep blue. So I'm going to go to my color picker tool, go to this logo, and just make sure I have contiguous turned off. So it's going to select all of the blue in the design. Alright, and then I'm going to go to my blue, and I'm going to create a layer mask for that. So there we go. So now only what was currently blue, or the teal blue, should be changed to the navy blue. I'm going to do the same thing with the green. Let's select the green, go to the red layer, turn it on, and then I'm going to create a clipping mask for the red. There we go. So now it kind of matches the school colors. And I'll take all of this as a group and just call this the medical logo. Control T so I can transform that. I forgot this thing is huge because of the color overlay. Alright, so somewhere on here, we're going to put the name of the program with this logo. Let's see what the name of the program is again. All right, and let's do a blend mode for the medical logo so it doesn't look so stickerish. I think instead of a blend mode, I'm just going to change the opacity a little bit. Let's bring that down a little bit. There we go. All right, so we'll have a logo up top here, class of 21. Let's pull that down here for now. Now, the logo says the name of the school, so I don't know if we even need the name of the school again. I'm trying to pick and choose what we put on here now. So we have the medical logo. I think we may even be able to use it more than once, but let's see. So let's get it on the stole. Make sure that we keep everything below the 13 by 19. Even though I'm printing this one as an all over, I'm just trying to get you used to designing for that. All right, and some of the wings might get clipped, but I think that's fine. Let's hit enter to lock in that transformation. And then the Marian Francis University, I'm definitely going to bring that down and maybe put in a glow to it so that it stands out against the dark blue. As a matter of fact, I can take the dedication, copy that layer style, and place it on the logo. So right click, paste layer style. Yep, that definitely makes that pop out a bit more. I'm still kind of working on the FMU because I'm probably going to change that font up. So let's do FMU over here. Let's do our dedication over here. I think we're still going to do the name. There we go. I'll just take it forever to update while I'm live. All right, so let's delete that. And then let's do the last name. All right, so we got name on there, and then the last thing we need is the program. All right, so I'm choosing a little bit more of our standard kind of university, varsity type of font. And then let me change the stroke here. It's 1, then 4. I'm going to change this to be an inside stroke. And then this one, I just increased the size just a little bit, just so it looks a little bit bolder. Here we go. And of course, we need our class of now. And we also need the name of the program. So let's take this dedication, since it is pretty lengthy, and we're going to alt click and drag, make a copy of it. Let's double click on that and paste. All right, so let's see what data, how we can get this on here. Take our FMU, make it a little bit smaller. That way we don't risk cutting that off at all. And then we're going to have to kind of layer this a little bit, which I'm fine with because we didn't intend on having like this design on here anyway. So even if I had to let go of the medical logo, I would be fine. Now I think maybe To Freedom is supposed to be separate from this quote. So let's see if we can maybe make that take up a little space down here. Here we go. So it kind of drops down a little bit, takes up a little more vertical space. All right, so let's see if this looks like what it needs to look like. Let me go ahead and pull up my mock-up. That'll be 125 mock-up. And let's go ahead and save this without the guides on it. File, save as. It's PNG. $16,021. All right, so I'm going to hide the shirt. Honestly, I'm going to do a shirt for them based on the smart template and see if they want it or if their family wants it. It's a good opportunity to upsell someone without having to do any more design work. All right, so let's change out the image here. All right, moment of truth. Let's see what it looks like. And I need to do some adjusting. All right, so I think that's good. All right, so this is ready to proof. And if we need to make any changes, of course, I have the editable file here. So I like to send a mock-up just to let them know what it's going to look like, because I don't want to assume that I interpreted everything just as they want it. And we'll go ahead and Save as a JPEG. And then of course I will, if I'm not sending the t-shirt, I will crop that out. And if watermark your stuff too. Of course, this is a low resolution file, but if just in case they share it, like let's say they send it to their classmate or something, and they want to know, hey, what do you think about this? Then you might as well have your logo on there when you do that. All right. So that's one more. Let me see. I think I have one more to do tonight. I'm not used to doing all these graduation stoves. I'm used to you all doing all of this stuff, and then I just make the templates. But so far, I've got a lot of design requests. So I'm trying to knock these out while giving you an idea of what you could be marketing right now as well. All right, so now we're on to the next one, file, save as. Of course, I will send these mock-ups to the customers, but now I have one more of these to do. You know what? Before I do this, let me make sure before I save as that I actually saved this, which I didn't. See, I had a little bit more I could have saved. So that means that it would not have saved my updated changes. So that was a good catch. Alright, so next I can go ahead and now I can do save as after it completed saving. Copy that. And then I can keep up with my orders. Alright. Thank you, Teresa. I'm glad you love it. And it's actually a little challenge for me sometimes to do only text and not do a lot of photos and extra stuff. So it's harder for me to do simpler things, believe it or not. Alright, so let's see what this next one is. Let's see if this is the watercolor or the solo. Yep, this is watercolor too. Yay! Jackpot. So all three of the ones I had to do today with you all is all watercolor. Alright, so let's see. We got 2 photos for this one and a logo. This one will be photo 1. Then we have photo 2. And we have the school logo, so 2 photos and a logo. All right, let's see what we're working with. Let's close out of this stuff right now and let's just look up, or let's go to remove.bg and let's drag in photo 1. Oh, this is the old photo 1. I need to be bringing it in. I have 3 different screens right now, so y'all forgive me. That's photo 1. Oh, this is beautiful. And it looks like it did not so great of a job cleaning up that edge there, but I can build that back. Photo 1 and then photo 2. Let's see if we even need it depending on how we lay out. Perfect. She's already got a little heart down there. So even if we needed to fade that off, we absolutely could. So I'm going to go ahead and download the HD version of this one. And I think it cleaned up everything except right now, right here, they can tell the difference between the background and the skin tone. So I can clean that up. I don't mind if we end up even needing that part. All right. So that's all we need there. And let's see what the logo looks like. There it is. Oh, this is a good logo. I mean, it's not PNG, but we can definitely get this out real quick. Selecting the outside area here. I need to turn on the contiguous so that I'm only selecting the background area here. And then I'm going to select the inverse of that. Do my selected mask. Make sure everything's cleaned up. I don't have any jagged edges. Good deal. I'll hit OK. I'm going to make a clipping mask here. Right click. And then I'm going to apply the clipping mask. Alright, so now I can export this as a PNG. And it is truly a PNG. Alright, and because we did save as, that means this is no longer the same one from before. You have to make sure you did a save as. As a matter of fact, I'm getting a little cocky myself. Let me go and make sure that each of these orders have their own Photoshop version that matches the name and the order number. And one more we did today. Okay, cool. So then I don't have to redo any work after I get off this live. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull in the image, and I just shut it down. We'll just drag it in right from our folder. Matter of fact, let's choose the existing logo. Right click, let's choose the existing logo, and then that way when we bring something in, it will lay right on top of the original image. All right, and not necessarily saying that this is our placement, but I did just want to go ahead and bring it in. And let's see, our photos. Now we can go to our original image had photos in it. So I'll just name that photos, or try to type in the word photos. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the original photos and just place the new ones in there. So it's just going to be 2 photos, 1 and 2. Drag and drop it onto my artboard. And since it's just 2 photos, I can make these a little larger. And I will turn on my guidelines to make sure that I'm not placing anything outside of my printable area. I'm going to go ahead and update the name. And we got the logo in there. Watercolor design. Let's see what else. We're going to keep class of 2021. Now this school is blue, white, and black. So that's what I have with the colors. So we've been pretty lucky. We've been able to save some of our colors. Let's say I want to change this smart color to that blue, which I probably will choose the blue off of her uniform, because that brighter blue will probably be a lot harder to replicate. So let me go ahead and choose the blue off of her uniform. I'm going to choose the eyedropper tool. And see how I'm just dragging it around on her uniform to see where I pick up a good blue. And then when I go here, I want to make sure that my blue is not near purple. And sometimes when you drag it down, it gets a little dull, but you can at least ensure that it's going to be a true blue and not a blurple. So I'm going to copy that, go on to our color 1, which is blue. And I don't have to keep duplicating this. I can actually override this color. Okay, so I did the override of the color. Let's hit yes and see how that updates. All right, and then the other color is black and white. So now I can take my red, or maybe I should have done the red and the blue. I think I'll do that. Let's do the red is the blue, and then I'll make the black the navy blue. Because I think I want the text to have the blue. So we'll see in just a moment. All right, so now color 1 and color 3 are blue, but I want, kind of forgot for a second which one. So color 3 is the one that I want to stay blue. So color 1, I'm going to turn to black. And see that silver, whether you know, it's male or female, that glitter is not really just for the females. It gives a little bit of a design feature, whether it's masculine or feminine, but you can always turn the glitter off if you want to. So if the client says, hey, you know, I don't like the glitter, then you just turn the glitter off and it'll be that solid color behind it. All right, so now let's go ahead and get rid of all the additional text. And for this one, since we don't have like photos stacked up, I could do the name, Control T, and turn it sideways and kind of do it going down instead. And I'm just taking this smart color and making it smaller because it is so huge. It is taking forever to resize this object. So I'm going to make it smaller. And usually I optimize these kind of things before I make it a template for you too. Alright, so the FMU, turn that off. I might keep that as part of the template, we'll see. And you'll notice that the color is not completely coloring the text here. That's because I have to resize the text and or the color. Alright, so this is in my text safe area. I'm just going to recenter it a little bit. Alright, let's take our color, Control T, and I can see where that color goes. Let's do the logo up top. And I'll reduce the size of the logo a little bit so we make sure we don't cut off anything important. Even if it hangs off a little bit, I just don't want to like completely cut off the bill of the bird. And to be honest with you, it's these things are curved and they're kind of at an angle. So you have to be really careful about placement when you get these down onto your stoles. Alright, so I'm just making sure that I do not get too close to my cutoff there. Doing my best to center it. I want to make sure that I have all the information. There's 2 photos, 1 logo. And I don't see any extra notes. So this is simple. I think I'm going to switch the photos. And then of course I need to get rid of that other logo, the medical logo. And then I'll place the name behind the photo. So this photo, number 1. I'm going to place that above the first and last name so her head will kind of go over the text there. Uh-oh. I must have clipped it inside another layer. There we go. Alright, so everything is safe down here in this area. If I did want to make it a 13 by 19, I can turn that off and absolutely make that a 13 by 19 with the same color scheme. And for this one, I think I'm going to add a little bit of white around the text for her name. Make it stand out a little bit more. There we go. I just wanted to kind of pop off of that shadow just a little bit. And I want to say when I placed her in this area, it put a drop shadow on the photo, which I wasn't expecting, but I think it looks pretty cool. But if I'm going to do that, I need to clean up that leg. Right here. Let's go into the photo. And let's use the pen tool. Make that a selection of 1 pixel. Let's delete those pixels and deselect. Let's zoom out, make sure it looks good. Looks good, looks good. Alright, so let me zoom all the way out for a moment. And if I like the layer style here, then I can copy the layer style. Which is just a drop shadow. And then I can paste the layer style on this photo number 2. You see I kind of gave her a little pop out, a little 3D shadow. That's it. I think I'm good. I might shift her over just a little bit. But she is gorgeous. And hopefully she really likes this design. Let me turn back my all over. Here we go. Alright, so now it's time to proof this one as well. Let me see, I want to make sure I'm good on my scaling. Bring the class up down just a little bit, just because we can. And it's not what I meant to do. And try not to make this too big, because what will end up happening is I'll get too happy trying to make my text and images big, and then I end up cropping something off and having to remake one of my stoves. That is not an uncommon situation. And same thing here, because I have this dark color on dark color, I think I'm going to add a little bit of white. And I'm even going to bring down the size of this just a little bit, because just like I said, it curves a little bit, and if you just miss this just by a hair, it will make the text either look really crooked or it'll fall off of the printable area. So I'm going to copy this layer style and paste it on the class of. Okay, that gives it a little more contrast off that dark background. I think I'm done. Let me go ahead and turn off my guides. I can save this as a PNG or a JPEG. When I do save as PNG, it saves properly. But if you export it as a PNG, it does not export the right size and you have to resize it. So I've been getting used to exporting and saving things as JPEG just to not have to deal with that. All right. Then this will be a totally different mock-up. Let's go ahead and pull in the new image. And honestly, I can even start getting rid of some of these other ones because that's part of the problem of what makes these files so large. All right, there we go. So now this one is ready to proof to the customer as well. Save it as a JPEG and we're good to go. All right, so I will be making you all a smart file that changes the stole to a 13 by 19 to an all over design shirt, and I will make that available for the Academy. I'll put it on the NA Lab website too, but for the Academy you will be able to use your discount code. If for the regular website it won't have that option. All right, so I appreciate y'all dealing with me with my little low energy today. I'm tired, but I had to get this done, and I figured you all would appreciate seeing part of the process, or at the very least, appreciate the process. And I'm going to be logging back on in just a little bit with Miss Tracy, and we will be setting up her Photoshop and talking about some of the issues that occurred with a total wipeout with a malware situation or virus that the computer got and wiped out everything. So maybe we'll get a chance to talk through that today, and it'll help a lot of us out. Okay. All right, loves. Well, I'm going to be checking back in just a moment. So look for another live link, and I'm probably going to be doing this session through Zoom, but you'll see it on YouTube. Okay. All right, loves, I'll check y'all in just a little bit. Let me get Tracy situated, and we'll see y'all in about 20 minutes, okay? All right, if I don't catch you again, you know what it is. Bye.